Good morning. My name is Mary Lee White. It's Thursday, November 20th, and I'd like to call this meeting of the Teton County Hardware Board to order. If we have a quorum, we have all board members present. Vicki is on remote. It's nice to see everybody. Peg Gilday, Vicki Rosenberg, and myself. And would anyone like to move that we approve the agenda? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Vicki, and Peg for the second. Who would, wait, did anybody say I moved to approve? Oh, we're not on the minutes, sorry.
No, we're on the agenda.
Yeah, on the agenda, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now we want to approve the minutes. First of all, I'm going to ask if there's any discussion on the minutes. Anybody have any questions or concerns? I do, I have one. The September, were you gone for the September meeting? You were here at that one. I just wondered, the minutes didn't reflect that. Our discussion with April Norton about the parking lot, the parking, we made a point.
Oh, actually, I wasn't present, but Lindsay did take the minutes. So.
Okay. And I kind of is important for you to know this, that when we talked to April, we knew they were going to bring up parking, using our parking lot. And we said that we would be interested in the possibility as long as it was paid parking and that it generated revenue for the library. So that was the conversation. And I think that maybe should be reflected in the minutes.
Is that in the conversation?
Yeah, I can go back.
Okay, that'd be great. And I suppose.
Is this paid overnight parking?
Yeah,
okay.
Just overnight. You did include in the minutes that April said they will use the parking lot, and we had a little discussion ahead of time because we knew it was coming, that it would be could be advantageous for the library to generate revenue overnight, but it would have to be monitored and very closely. You know, there are complications, so it might be something to talk about further as long as the Virginia development continues. Thank you. Would anybody like to, any comments? That was on the September 18th meeting. Does anybody have comments on the October 16th meeting? Voucher meeting? Well, it wasn't voucher meeting, regular meeting, right?
That was a voucher
Regular.
with a special
Agenda edition. Okay. Would someone like to make a motion for approval of the minutes?
I move to approve the minutes of the September 18th regular meeting and the October 16th, 2025 voucher.
Add it as amended for the September 18th.
Yes, thank you. As amended regarding the September 18th based on Vicki's.
Second. Thank you. Elizabeth for the motion and Peg for the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move on to correspondence. There is
Every other month, there is no correspondence.
there is no correspondence. We're not taking public comment today.
We do.
We could, but there is none.
There is somebody online that may want to make a public
Oh,
comment.
Is there anybody online who would like to have any comments for the board?
I don't know who CR is.
All right, we will move on. And now we are at financial information. And any questions for Stella? She provided us with a report. And are there any questions?
Sure, if I may.
Yeah, always. I'm gonna get this thing down eventually. I mean, it might take a year, but.
So this was a more detailed, extensive report than typical. One of the things I included was screenshots. If we go backwards to fiscal year 25, as you are aware, the county has been in their auditing process. As of early November, it looks like they completed their auditing process. Therefore, there was a new revenue report for month ending June. And so with that, that was on the last page of my report I submitted. So I submitted a screenshot of that new report versus the report that I originally submitted in July, which was an unaudited version. And so per the report, we did have 3 areas where we wound up with increased revenue for the end of the year. So that was the account library revenue, which is things like meeting room payments, lost books. Also our passport fees, once the year was audited, we did receive a bit more revenue for that other than what was in the July report. And also the interest income, excuse me, also vastly increased. So I just wanted to share that with you all. Regarding the clerks, the expenditure reports, we also did see that they did amend the payments that came through in July, early August, that were attributed back to fiscal 25. However, there's not a new report that was produced by the clerk's office that I've seen, so that you're just seeing the reports for revenue. Another item to note is I have an error, sorry. Under income categories, I wrote fiscal 25 revenue report. That should read fiscal 26. Just notice that.
Stella, can I interrupt? I think we have to restart Zoom. It's not responding.
Oh.
You were in the zone.
If anybody on Zoom can hear us, it's not responding on our end, so I have to restart. So you're going to have to rejoin the meeting.
Okay. Are we back up and running?
I think so.
Good.
Okay, so I'll just repeat what I most recently said. I do just notice that I have an error on my report under income categories. It should read the fiscal year 26 revenue reports through October of the audit. Were there any questions thus far? Something else I'd like to highlight that is just basically informational. Our mailing machine that we have, Pitney Bowes, we've been in a 5-year agreement. It is a leased machine. We do have to lease it because of postage. You can't outright it. We're coming towards the end of our agreement at the end of December, so we've been doing research. Lindsay's done a lot of research on Pitney Bowes alternatives, looking at different companies, different online vendors, and we ultimately determined that at this point in time, that Pitney Bowes is our best option, so we will be entering in a new agreement with Pitney Bowes. Part of the research also included querying the county departments to see what they're using, and also to other libraries in the state of Wyoming that also process passports. Because one of the things that's changed since we entered into the current agreement, we did not do passports 5 years ago. And that is a daily process that we have to do with priority mail. Also, another change is we don't have the same volume of sending out just basic letters that we used to, because also since we entered into the contract 5 years ago, we are no longer doing fines, so we no longer send out mailings about fines. Also, when we were in the contract, we used to also process our own payments to vendors, so we no longer have the monthly stack of checks to send out. So there have been some changes to what we do here since we entered into the 5-year agreement. So Pitney Bowes machine we're gonna get will actually be different. Our current machine does have an automatic letter feeder. We don't need that anymore for the reasons I just mentioned. So in the long run, the quarterly expense for Pitney Bowes will actually be less than what we're currently paying. Also, in discussion with Kip, we both agreed that we don't want to enter into a 5-year agreement because that's too long and things could change. So that's also why we're doing a 3-year. If we were to do 5-year, though, we could have even more savings, but we don't know where we'll be at 5 years from now. So another item I just want to bring to your attention is regarding JH snow removal and landscapes. For the last couple of years, we've had JH snow removal. They do areas of the sidewalk that Parks and Rec don't shovel. Also, at one point, they were also shoveling our roof for us to prevent, some of you may remember, there's used to be a real problem with ice coals and so forth, and snow buildup on the west end of the building. Since we got heat tape on the west end of the building a couple of years ago, we really haven't seemed to have needed the need for a roof snow removal. However, we are still in a verbal agreement with JH that if that process is needed, they would come and shovel the roof. However, they did request that we have a written agreement regarding the sidewalk shoveling, and so that's what we're doing now. There's basically no changes to how we've been operating with them the past couple of years. It's just that we're just having a written agreement with them now. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Oh, yes, sure.
Is the $240 for each push, is that like each time they go through?
Yeah.
I laughed about it.
Now,
Each shovel.
if it's a really heavy snow day too, then we can call them back, and we have done that in the past. I in particular have done that if Chris and our facilities folks aren't here, because sometimes for safety reasons of everybody entering the library. But otherwise, Rick and Chris, we do have a snow blower on premises, and they will sometimes do another round if it's really particular day. And then I just also want to bring your attention to the Alta doors. This will be something that Rick will be bringing to you in early winter. We've had it in our capital reserve fund allocated to automate the doors at Alta and make them accessible or more accessible. So Rick is going to be putting a request for proposals out to the public, and like I said, once we get more information, then he'll be bringing that request to you for approval. So, any other questions?
I have 2 questions. Where are the warrant registers? Did I miss something? Are they not in your email and not in the report? I just don't see it.
Yeah,
There's
I got
one-
it in
That's
the morning. It was the separate
Yeah.
warrant list, which was
Oh,
wonderful.
that's not on the agenda. And I thought I checked. Okay, great. I'll take care of that.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is helpful when they're in here. I know you run out of time. Okay, in the agenda.
The agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry, yeah.
And can you remind me, the capital reserve fund, the amount for the EV charging station? What happened with that grant? Is that the total? Wasn't there a grant that was gonna offset it? Because that's not.
Yes,
Can you
actually,
remind me on that.
I'm gonna pull up my notes because we actually had that on the agenda. So there was a grant. The initial process of the grant was to have the engineering documents, which we received. And then, should I just go ahead and give that, okay, sorry. So Rick Smith, Facilities Maintenance Coordinator, did provide Kip and I an email with a summary of EV chargers. So where we're at, I'm just gonna read off of this, please, if you're okay with that. Other organizations still need to complete their engineering and construction document portion before the library can put constructive docs out to bid. So that's where we're at, and that was the change that we had to come back and let you all know that originally we didn't know that, or Eric didn't know that. So Eric Kimball, Teton County Sustainability Coordinator, is actively working to keep other organizations on track so that this second part of the process can happen before June. Library paid $24,500 for the engineering and construction documents. Eric has submitted requests for reimbursement equaling 80% of the $24,500. And so Rick is anticipating reimbursement of $19,600. And then the engineering company will be owed $1,500 for on-site and remote support once construction is complete. The library has $500 remaining in capital reserves for this project. And the Teton County Library Foundation and Friends has $1,000 to round out our financial commitment to this project to satisfy the $1,500 remaining from the agreement.
Great, so once that grant is there, does that change our capital reserve spreadsheet? In other words, will that be in that report? Or does it become income elsewhere? I'm just curious. So the 24.5 is gonna have some grant of 80% towards it. So the number will be less, right? I'm just wondering how we're tracking.
The project, I don't know the total cost of the project, but our
Okay,
part of the
our
project
component
is
24.5.
24.5. So that will come
That
out
won't
and
change
stay out, yeah.
Thank you. It won't be a credit. Thank you.
Nice.
Well,
So, and then that was for Jackson. And then for Alta, no construction documents are needed. The electrical and excavating is in place for spring installation. And I actually should go back and remind you all that Eric Kimball had a single EV charger, that it was determined that the Alta Library would be a good location for that. So that's a totally separate project from the Jackson project. But there still needed to be some electrical work that gets done before that single EV charger can be installed over in Alta. So that will happen in the spring ideally. And then 100% of the funding for the Alta installation is planned to be covered by energy rebates that are already funded through Teton County facilities. So I'm going to emphasize planned because as we've seen, some things have changed from the information that we're getting from American Automation. So project is estimated to be $5,000 for the Alta installation. Other questions on that?
Yes, not. So we can move on to consideration of payment of library vouchers. Any questions about the voucher payments? We have, as Stella gave us, this vouchers total spreadsheet yesterday. She sent it out in an email. And this is great. It's really nice to be able to see the monthly expenditures with where they go to, and it just makes it so much easier to understand. Thank you very much for that. And my question was on that Premier Green Cleaning 17,000. Is that each month?
It's,
Yeah,
It is.
that's for both locations.
that's so, yeah,
Both locations.
Yes.
Jackson is the majority of that. It's 11,000 or so.
Okay. And then on this spreadsheet,
Kicked out.
things change, so what goes up, what goes down, what's not monthly, I think it really helps
Some
all.
of the vendors won't be monthly, so
Yeah.
it will be hard to necessarily compare them, but some of them are consistent across. the
Yeah.
months.
And so to that, gives mention of that, that's why you also see a couple of vendors that are here that have the $0 amount, because I was just trying to build the template with what we most typically have.
Yeah.
So, so that's why you see some of them with a 0 amount.
And I wonder if by the end of the year that the number of vendors will just get so huge. But anyway, we'll see how it goes.
And while we're on this topic, just to mention the vendor listed as CCB Technology, that was for all the computer replacements that James Silva brought to you as a staff report a few months ago. So that was a previously approved amount. So.
Thank you. Would anybody like to make a motion to approve payment of library vouchers?
I will move to approve the payment of library vouchers in the amount of $125,755.36.
Thank you, Peggy. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Thank you, Vicki. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion
Aye.
passes. Thank you. Chip, would you like to highlight your report?
Sure. Since we were talking about EV chargers, I thought I mentioned that the library received an award from Yellowstone Teton. What is it? Yellowstone Teton Clean Cities organization for hosting the Ford F-150 vehicle on our property. It's a good partnership, and if you notice, the truck is never here. It is always checked out, so there will be a more formal announcement coming, but they did let us know that this was happening, so.
So like library employees can check it out, anybody? can check it
Anybody
out?
who lives or works in Teton County,
Who's
you
moving?
can borrow it. Let's see. I guess library staffing news, we did lose 2 employees last month. One person, Mary Kelly, accepted a new position in Idaho. Woman family, and our part-time library assistant, Lisa Harris, her husband took a new job with a school in Washington State, so she left us. And so that leaves a couple of positions open, which we're currently in the process. And I will be part of the interview panel this afternoon for the full-time position.
I did have a question.
Yep.
I'm happy to see that they're leaving for, reasons outside of
Yes.
like their position here. And I was going to request the job descriptions, just to see if anyone came to mind or to help promote the positions. I didn't see them on the website, but it sounds like you're past that point.
We're past that point. at this
So, okay,
point.
you're interviewing.
Yeah, they will. And now that I know you want to do that, the next time we have an opening, I will let you know that the job is open.
Thank you.
Diana puts them up on our website, so it would be easy to access.
Okay, great. So I just missed that. Thank you.
So I will do that.
Okay, and how do you feel about the candidates?
I have not seen their resumes yet, so
Okay.
Angela's the hiring manager. So,
Great.
but from what I understand, we have some good applicants for the full-time position, and the part-time, I think, just closed. Is that right, Diana?
Yes, and it's been filled.
No, the other part-time, the circle.
Oh, it closed 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So, and then, yes, I'll let Julie share hers.
Sure. So we also had a 20-hour part-time library assistant position available and available and just hired. Information now, and she is thrilled to be a part of our team, and she'll begin soon. And so this was a position that we had not, we had for a while, but it wasn't taking the place of someone.
Congratulations.
Thank you, we're excited.
So how could we meet her? By coming to the youth wing and?
Yeah, so after she gets settled and starts her training process, I'd be happy to. So why don't we do that?
Sounds good.
Something that I thought of in the middle of the night that wasn't in this report. We are currently conducting a small survey on Sunday use in the library. So we put out a short paper survey every Sunday to collect data on who's using the library on Sundays and what they're using it for. We don't know a whole lot about Sunday use other than the door count. And so we're trying to ascertain who's actually using the facility on Sundays and how important it is because should budgetary issues arise in the next fiscal year, as they did this year, Sundays is one of those sometimes perceived as a nice thing to offer, but not necessary. So we're trying to figure out if that's actually what our patrons think of Sundays or not. Is that it's a hard day to staff, and so we want to know as much information about Sunday use as we can before we ever have to make any decisions. So we're currently conducting that every Sunday through the end of this year. Some of the data that we've received so far last night. So that's why I woke up at 2 a.m. Before I should know this.
So are the door numbers on Sunday much less than Saturday? Because I've been here on Saturday and it's like really bustling on Saturday.
Yes, Sundays, it's consistent. It's a consistent stream of people, but it's quiet. People aren't, there's no programs. It's minimal staffing. So it's really just a space to work in. So people are coming in, reading, studying. Youth side's a little busier with kids wanting computers and to play games and things. But it's a different vibe on Sundays.
Optional survey, that's like, whatever. Or what was the?
We have it available at It's just short 5 questions in English and Spanish. And we didn't want to offer it. We only want to know data about Sunday use, so we're only asking people who actually visit on Sundays.
If you're seeing a lot of computer use, is that something that could be programmed, like as you're logging in or logging out of the computer, to pop up that as a questionnaire? I just know that I would probably not.
Well, we also, our managers are really good. We're walking around and giving it to people to say, would you mind filling this out for us before you leave? So I'd say we're getting a good response.
I have a question on the report. You talked about Joe and Lindsay attending a training to deal with House Bill 72 enacted in July. What was that? What was House Bill 72?
So
Joe
Joe attended, sorry, and so I put in that Lindsay also attended, that was a mistake on my part.
It's about sex designated restaurants.
How'd you find out that? I always forget about Google. Google knows everything. Okay.
So there's quarterly, they call them desk refreshers for the staff that work the public desks. And the various public service managers set up those quarterly refreshers. And so I believe that was something that Angela probably brought.
I saw the slides for that, and it was, what happened, what do we do if
There's
a patron complains about someone of the opposite sex in the bathroom or the wrong sex in the bathroom? And given the way the law is written, it's rather unenforceable. So it really becomes, we listen, we don't know who's going in and out of the bathrooms. That's not our job. We're not here to do any other sort of checking of birth certificates or whatever. So it was listen to the patron, offer the option of a single stall bathroom. And if you feel like you were actually harmed, it's a criminal thing. So contact Jackson Police and file your complaint, because there's nothing we can do about it.
Has the signage changed? I can't remember. It is still very,
It's still,
yeah, where it says.
it's the signs that have been up, that it's male, female, but it's the bathroom.
But the new law is that you're supposed to use the restroom on your birth certificate. It's on for the gender that you are on your birth certificate. Is that?
I guess if you didn't amend your birth certificate, yes. It's
One of those.
yes.
I'm not sure where the appropriate place to do this is, but if we could just track in clearer words that we're talking about that. So whether it's updating the staff report, right, to just sort of say when we House Bill parentheses or Lindsay for you to catch it, just so that down the road, if anything happens, it's easier for us to reference that we discussed this.
It would have to go in the minutes because I don't think.
Great.
You don't have it.
Thank you.
And the only other thing in my report is just we have, everybody's a little confused over hours for the holidays. And so I just included the reminder of what those holiday hours are. We close at 5 p.m. next Wednesday. Thanksgiving Eve, closed Thursday and Friday, regular hours for the weekend, and then Christmas holidays. Approved what the commissioners had recommended, which is we're open 9 to 5 on Christmas Eve, closed Christmas Day, Boxing Day, regular weekend hours, and then New Year's is just, it's 5 p.m. on New Year's Eve and then fixed on New Year's Day.
All right, thank you, Kip. It looks like we would like to hear from Diana at the table.
Yay. I can see your faces. I'm excited to share that, I know last time we talked about Old Bill's closing in October. We got our numbers and we had set a goal to raise $180,000 for the library, and we exceeded our goal by $544. So our Old Bill's was a success, and we are so grateful to everyone who participated and helped make that just a wonderful fundraiser this year. I also wanted to share we have a library benefit coming up. I know many of you have tickets for Friday, December the 12th, and we are getting close to selling out. I want to say maybe we have 20 tickets left. So yeah, we're getting close. Now, we may have some become available because we have some sponsors who aren't needing all of their tickets. So we'll update you soon. But yeah, thank you so much. And we are so looking forward to that event, and you'll if you're on our email list, you'll get more information coming up. I know we have a few exciting things going on in Teton Village over the weekend that folks are really wanting to really make this a local fun weekend over in the village. So there's a couple of fun activities going on. And then we are super excited that the Foundation and Friends are working towards our first advocacy event for the library. We had a donor approach us about the documentary film called The Librarians. If you've not heard of it, it's about book banning that's going on in Texas and Florida. And this particular donor requested us to have a screening and potentially a fundraiser. And our board opted not to have the fundraiser, but is looking at having the screening. And we're working with Kip and with Leah on a program that includes partnering with the Jackson Hole International Film Festival and the nonprofit Better Wyoming to host not only a screening, but a panel discussion immediately following. And then Better Wyoming will conduct an advocacy provide them an opportunity for discussion, and then give them real tools to go out and do a lot of what you're doing, which is to contact our representatives and be a voice in support of intellectual freedom. So we're very excited about that coming up.
Thank you so much.
We're excited. That's going to be Tuesday, January 27th. And I will email you a full report. I'm just waiting on we're about 2 months behind at the foundation with getting all of our financials caught up. So I don't have, I want to get that done and then get you a full report in the email inbox.
A quick question
Yes,
about
ma'am.
that, if you don't mind. The donors, if it's not confidential, I'd love to know who, especially if they're at the library party and we can thank them.
Yeah, typically most donor information is confidential,
Okay.
most of it. But let me find out. Like I think, like especially with the library board and library staff, I know we have a lot of donors who want you to know. Like I mentioned to you in the office the other day about their support for everything that we do. So I'll get up and get back to you on that. That is a great, very generous. That's a great point. We also have just a couple things. Our holiday gift guide is coming out that the librarians and we have some of you board members, some of our board members, so many folks, local bookstores contributing to book recommendations. We just wrapped that up and sent that off to the printer yesterday. So look for that in your insert as in the Jackson Hole News and Guide. We're also mailing that to about 600 library supporters and donors, and then we'll have some at the library's front desk. Hopefully the week after Thanksgiving, all of that will be here. And I wanted to invite you, I'll contact you, Miles, afterward, but we just had our board orientation with Elizabeth on the Foundation and Friends orientation to get to know what we do and our role in supporting the library. So I'd love to reach out to you and let's get you scheduled for that. And we are excited to announce a few new board members. If you all, maybe you've heard of some of these folks, I want to share with you that
These 3 board members will be starting in January. We recently had some folks depart for relocation and other things. She and her children, so she's been doing this for over 10 years, and she commutes between, she has a home here and a home in San Francisco, she and her husband, and so we are thrilled to have Allison join the board.
What's it called?
Literary Masters is the name of her business. And she also facilitates some book clubs here in Jackson. I know she has one at 3 Creeks.
I'm going to make sure that all the lights are out. I'll put my shoes on.
And then John Chapdelaine, he is with the new Tanager Bank that's being formed here in Jackson. He's got 20 years experience in finance as a chief credit officer from JP Morgan and from First Republic. He'll be joining our board. And finally, Janice Harris, who is a retired history professor from University of Wyoming and a member of our current member of our Friends Committee. She will be joining in January as well. So anyway, that's it. It's a lot going on. We're super excited about all of it. We love supporting the library, and we thank you so much for really working with us and towards some of our goals. So thanks a lot. Any questions for me? Oh, one more thing. I don't know if you guys knew we have a new staff member. I didn't announce that last time, did I? Because it was.
No, right.
Yes, so we have just hired.
You
Laura.
replaced Julie. Impossible as it seems.
I know. And I was alone for 4 months, so I am thrilled to have Laura. You guys know Laura Solto. And she is the former executive director of the Teton Literacy Center. So she'll be working with us part-time. And she started October 1st. She's currently on an 11 or 12-day vacation, so otherwise she would be in here to say hello. But yeah, so she just started October 1st, and we couldn't be more thrilled to have Laura join our team. So a lot of changes going on, a lot of activity, and yes, couldn't be more pleased.
Thank you, Diana.
Thank you.
Please extend our thanks to the board.
Thank you.
Right, we'll move on to matters from the board, and I think maybe staff report, summary. Summer reading, staff report, summer reading.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
we're both here.
Yeah.
The dynamic duo. Thank you so much for having us join you at your board meeting today. I'm Julie Tobiasen. It's my coworker Beth Holmes. She's our youth programs coordinator, and really everything when it comes to summer reading and planning and she even created this report. So Beth, anytime you want to jump in and say, actually, please feel free. So, and we were really excited. We were able to share this report also with the Teton County Library Foundation and Friends recently together. So that was great as well. So let's talk about summer reading 2025. Thanks, Kip, for.
Let me see if I can share the
that's okay.
screen.
Sure. Okay, fantastic.
You'll have
Summer
to tell
reading.
me when to advance.
Yes, I will. Well, you can go ahead and advance right now. We're going to talk about Summer Reading 2025. Our program lasts from June 1st to August 10th. All right, so summer reading. So let's chat a little bit about how summer reading works. Raise your hand if you participated in summer reading 2025 this year. I don't want to shame you. How about if you logged on and attempted to participate, but maybe you That's totally fun. Well, if you haven't ever done, or if you didn't get to it this year, we invite you to be a part of summer reading in the future. It is the best. Birth through however old you want to be to do summer reading, and that it's just incredible. So everyone signs up on the Beanstack app online through the app. Your reading time is logged online on the app, and reading time equals raffle tickets. So for every hour read, you get 1 ticket. For every activity completed, you also get a ticket. And then we have a variety of raffle prizes that you get to choose from that you want to enter, which is super cool.
Do audiobooks count?
Of course.
They
Yes,
do.
of course.
Reading,
Reading, yes. No, reading in all forms, because remember, we want reading to be accessible to all. So reading in any form is welcome. So some of the other things we have offer are in-person programming, and this is specifically youth side. That we curated some incredible weekly DIY craft kits for kids. They pick them up and complete it at home. They fly quickly. Beth, I think you made 80
to 120, depending on the fact.
Yes, and Alta has these as well, and so they typically don't even make it 24 hours in the library where they're picked up, so it's incredible and super fun. We also offer some performers for kids, and at the end of the summer, we had a film party, much backed by popular demand. It's incredible, and it really was for all ages, and we had, it was incredible, an incredible time. If and when, because I'm sure it's a win, we do the film party again.
Oh, sure.
Good. Yeah. Make sure you join us because it is a riot. So to get ready for summer reading, we do a couple of summer reading fun promotions. We offer, and you can see here in the pictures, there are some photos from the video that was created that was shared with students in schools. So, and it was also viewable on our library's website. So some of the things we also offer are some free books and pens just for signing up, and we also share all the flyers that go out to schools and each jar and all of that. So taking a look at our program at a glance, you can see all of the ages that were registered, how many minutes were read. We had a goal of reading for 2 million minutes this summer, and we exceeded it. So thrilled, such a highlight. You can also see the breakdown of registrations between the Jackson branch and Alta branch, how many folks registered and how many minutes were read. So taking a look at our birth through preschool age group, we had 153 kids read for over 1,700 hours. So you can see again here, there's some numbers here of the breakdown between the two branches. And we also have a participation rate. So even so, taking a look at when you register versus are you actually participating? So over 65% of the folks who registered actually participated and read for more than a minute. So incredible stats. Taking a look at kindergarten to 4th grade, similar, over 508 kids read for over 10,000 hours. Also incredible. This participation rate was even higher at almost 80% participation rate. Amazing. Middle school, we do 5th through 7th grade. So these are the rising 6th through 8th graders. Kids are super excited to be going into the next grade they're going into, since we make sure we like that. So that's why we do it that way. We had 211 middle schoolers. You can see the breakdown there of the branches. Almost 74% participation rate is incredible. You can see the balance there. And then high school summer reading, 113 high schoolers taking a look again at the branch numbers and total time read. So more than 2,200 hours read. Incredible. You can see a photo there of one of our programs. That was the evening, was that the Wyoming Starvation? Yes. Event that was had after hours here at the library. We can scroll on down and you can take a look here at the adult summer reading program. 484 participants, a 77% participation rate, total read over 15,000 hours. Doesn't that sound blissful to read? Something else we asked for on the adult side was some book reviews, and we had over 181 reviews submitted, which is incredible. Adult summer reading registration had a slight decline this year, however, everything else increased. So So taking a look, you can see photos of some of the events that we had here. Our opening kickoff celebration was the author Barney Salzberg, who came to visit. He did a beautiful Oops, is a book that he has written, and he did an art activity with a great crowd. And Cream and Sugar, who was a partner with us, gave us ice cream to share, like little ice cream sandwiches to share, or little ice cream cups to share with her meat. But can you scroll back up a little bit? Sorry, just wanted to highlight, we also had there the take-home crafts. You can see the layout of how we put those out on carts and replenish as we can. Celia Circus, that was, could not believe we had a circus come to the library. And the film party, and you can see they're super awesome there. The library. They had the best time. I can't remember exactly how many people we had. I don't have it written down, but it was over yes, hundreds between adults and kids. It was incredibly well attended. All right, we can scroll down. Here are some of the middle school events. I spoke about this one. Dungeons and Dragons continued, so that is a beloved program that happens yearly after in the evening hours, but in the summer we were able to have post-afternoon sessions that were longer, and that was really loved. And then Nature and Novels with our friends at the Elk Refuge. So that's a program that we have really kind of had all year round, but more intentionally in the summer. And then here's some Alta events too. So Buckaroo Book Club, Indian Paintbrush Book Club with Eva. So those are our Wyoming book club, or books that are chosen and selected by students and they're voted on. So Eva does a program where she has book clubs and activities around that, and you can also see the take-home class there. And these again are just some highlighted photos, and there's so much more. For the reading prizes, you can see here, there's some photos and a list of the various things that we offer, thanks to the Foundation and Friends. Total raffle prizes awarded were 143. And it's fun to hear the kids talk about, you know, I've been for this, or I've been for this, or I decided that I'd like to choose a book, or I'd like to choose some other, you know, options. We've had like the fidgets and puppets and all kinds of things. So summer reading fun book giveaways. So we also were able to give over 1,500 books away to kids this summer. So when you sign up for summer reading, you automatically get a free book when you sign up. So we have host a book fair, as you can see in the top photo, that are in Youth Services Auditorium. And then we also offer books at our Sproutmobile locations. And I want to highlight Sproutmobile. You can scroll down a little bit, I believe. Yes, awesome, great. Sproutmobile. So we have had a really great relationship with the Sproutmobile over the previous summers, where we would offer books that are you familiar with what the Sproutmobile is? Okay, so they offer lunches over the summer at various locations throughout our county to the kids. The library partners with them, and the fact that we would offer books, so children can choose a lunch and a book. And occasionally we would also previously have summer, like a couple of our staff would go and do weekly story times at PowerPoint Park and things of that nature. This year we added where the Sproutmobile would actually have us stop here at the library on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right before our story times. And it was a massive win for both organizations. So we had our story time numbers increased exponentially. They were able to give out incredible number of lunches this year. I had a meeting with Yvonne, from Whole Food Rescue recently, and we just couldn't get over how incredible this year's numbers and participation were, and we're excited for next year's collaboration as well. But we were able to give away over 733 books just with the Sproutmobile program alone. So incredible community collaboration. Can't wait to do it again. Win-win. It was just great to see like books in one hand, lunches in another, and then sitting and like listening to story time. And can you think that is quintessential something in my opinion? So love it so much.
Yeah. Are those books that were given away provided by the Foundation and Friends?
Yes. So it is a Sprout books are a budget line item that we asked for, and we've asked for couple years now from the Teton County Library Foundation and Friends, and they, yes, they agreed to that.
Thanks.
Yes, so we're really thrilled. Thank you for that partnership. So you can see the summer reading registrants here. Here is more information, similar to what I shared before, but you can see in the graph, taking a look at the increase in numbers over time, especially, you know, since 2019. And then the participation as well. So registration versus participation. Registration is how many people register. Participants are how many folks who have read for at least a minute. Excuse me. And then you can see also the minutes comparison here. Way to go, adults. The time to read was super important. And then our outcome survey, Beth had created an incredible outcome survey that really asked a lot of great questions and a lot of great, and asked specifically for a lot of great feedback. And so you can see some of this information here, you know, almost 85% learned something new from what they've read or experienced. Our increase in 74% were able to read more often. 69% enjoy reading more, and 75.7% want to use the library more often. Yes, please.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes. And the feedback from the participants. So I would love for you to just take a moment or two and take a look at some of this feedback. We are so grateful. We have incredible patrons who really appreciate what we're able to offer to our community, especially during the summer. I love it. My kids are readers, but summer means reading hours of many hours of hanging out, just reading without an agenda. Yes, please.
I like the 5-year-old likes to carry around TV. Start me up.
That's right. Yes. And then there's actually even more on the next slide. You'll see some impact feedback here from participants. I wanted to highlight this one. The one in blue was when Beth shared this one. I mean, I think we got a little teary.
Yeah.
Summer reading was a good bonding experience for my two children. We had them taking turns reading out loud to each other. Watching my older daughter teach my younger to sound something out or try something differently was not only very sweet, but well received by my kids. I mean, who knew that the library could do sibling relationship well? So, and we want to send a very special thanks to Carolyn and Chuck Miller Foundation, the B Street Foundation, and the Teton County Library Foundation and Friends. You all, we could not do what we do without the support of you all, truly. And also special thanks to Cream and Sugar, who provided ice cream, and also free student vouchers. You read for, it was 1,000 minutes? 2,000 minutes. Oh, that's right, you did.
Yeah,
You got free student, that's right.
Yeah.
And free student ice cream. So, anyone have any questions?
No, I just want to say I love these staff reports. They make me so proud to be a board member and humble as well. Yeah, thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
For your obvious hard work as well.
Yes, of course. We love what we do. We're so thrilled to do it. And if you ever have questions about anything, please don't hesitate to ask us. Thank you. Thank you.
And just so you two know, some of the highlights from this report were shared with the commissioners last week.
Oh.
So yesterday, the web committee reconvened. We hadn't met for several weeks. Back up. Just as a reminder, our website committee had been meeting with Library Market every Wednesday to just have different design information shared and working on content and so forth. We did not meet for several weeks because what Library Market was actually then working on all the information that we provided them. Yesterday, we did reconvene because we had our first training. So we will also have another training December 3rd. And the training, what that composed of is we got to see some aspects of how the website is coming together, but then learned how we would edit content in the future, how we will create new content in the future. So that was a training we had. And we did have Julie joined our training yesterday because what we're doing now is there will be several staff who will be what we call editors. Diana will still have primary oversight of the website, but we have Angela Jordan who will be able to do small updates or small tweaks if necessary to pages that are under the adult services. Julie will be doing the same for pages that are under youth services, and then Eva Dahlgren for Alta information. So this would be, if they notice a typo or just small updates, it's not going to be vast website content creation. That would still be under Diana's cube. But so we had that first training yesterday. Where we're at is it looks like we are still on track to have our new website up and running on December 16th. I did ask our Library Market rep, Valerie, if I could get some sort of preview link to share with library board, library staff, and our Foundation and Friends staff before we actually go live. Library Market isn't ready to do that yet because they're still working on some content issues, but hopefully first week of December, I'll be able to share something with you all so that you do have a preview before we actually go live the following week. So that, and also for staff so that they can start to learn how to navigate the new site. So any questions on that?
Kip, your EV chargers.
We already have that.
Okay, so we can move on. ECC quarterly update that you mentioned.
Yes. Elizabeth and Mary Lee and I attended the quarterly update. Mary Lee did a great job presenting the report to them. And I think one of the more interesting pieces of that was that after the meeting, Commissioner Probst came out and talked to the three of us and expressed some concern over the obscenity law, obscenity bill, property tax reform. And he did say, and we will want to follow up, that he was going to have the commissioners ask their lobbyist to include the obscenity bill in his work plan for the legislative session. So we'll want to follow, make sure that that actually does happen. So I think we're going to need as much support as possible.
And it's nice that Better Biomune is going to be here too for the when the film is shown, and that we can coordinate, hopefully have a talk about coordination of who all is advocating for, for libraries and against this legislation. And I don't know, we'll see what happens, but that would be a great opportunity.
There's still opportunities for more to be involved in that. I've got some.
Let's talk about that. I think right now it feels like the program is so full because the film is 90 minutes long. We only have about 25, 30 minutes for panel discussion. So I think the panel's been selected already, and Nate Martin and Better Biomune is going to be the moderator. But let's talk. Okay.
Happy to take anyone to lunch or let us know if we can be helpful. So it would be great to do more than just leave them.
Okay. Then the final thing is, library board and staff appreciation. Should we ask staff to leave so that we can surprise them?
They can always watch the recording, but maybe they won't.
Maybe not today. Well, I had an idea, that I wanted to bounce off, board members.
Lindsay has to stay mum.
That we might, put together a little present for every staff member that comes from the board. And my idea was, this is completely one idea, and I'm open to any other ideas, suggestions. My idea was that we, buy little, 6-piece Ortega chocolate boxes and give each staff member a card. And write a handwritten note of our appreciation and, our strong, how proud we are to be part of, that sort of kind of message to the staff. And if anybody was really gung-ho on the idea, maybe we would hand make the cards so that they were really special. And, I would be very happy to provide the materials and, to do that. If we could find the time to get together, there are about 41, 42 employees, or something like that.
It depends on the day.
So if each of us
Right
made
now, I think
about
it's
30
39,
cards.
but hopefully by Christmas it'll be around 41.
So that would be like 8 cards each. What do you think?
Is it a holiday gift?
Yeah, it would be a holiday card, yeah, a holiday card and Christmas gift.
I would caution against getting together to do it unless you want to post it as an official meeting. We can not have more than 2 board members together at one time unless it's an official meeting. After.
I thought that it was if we talk about official matters, right? Aren't we allowed in the same room? if
You're
we're-
doing library business, you're doing business on behalf of the board to do the Christmas.
So then if we advertise it, it's definitely not a surprise, but that's okay. I mean, Stella knows, she's gonna spread the word. And
I mean, we've had work sessions before and nobody comes. So
Yeah.
we can easily post it as just a special meeting, work session. It's not gonna be recorded or anything. So somebody might pop in and sit down and listen or watch or offer to help.
And there's no weird rule about us spending our money to do.
We're using my foundation budget to do that. I have a staff
Oh,
appreciation
I
budget.
don't know.
He just said,
Okay.
he has a fund for it.
Oh, I was thinking
It's about $1,000.
Yeah, that wasn't a happy amount that was.
Yes, yeah.
We're giving each of
The chocolates are 1,000, the cards are nothing. And so how does he figure out a time and how much time do you feel comfortable? Like you could devote to card making? Like, would we do it in an evening? Would we do it on a Saturday?
Is it too last minute to do it December 18th, right after that? And then we're already together and then maybe you won't count as.
December is a voucher meeting,
So
so
it's not.
But we could
You
get
could-
together
You
at that
we
time.
could do it, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a 2-minute meeting, so
No, that's true.
yeah, so we could do that and make cards. What do you think about that?
Great idea.
Great. I love this.
My schedule's so crazy.
I was gonna say,
It's not hard,
if you
so
know it
it's,
works for you.
What did you say?
Just doing it on that day that I've already been at.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Good, yeah. And I recognize that all of these board members are creative and artists. I know that. And so I'm excited about it. And what I have are, blank cards with envelopes. And I have a massive amount of paper for collage. But if you have art supplies that you want to bring, like you have a vision of painting or whatever you want to do, but I have a huge amount of examples of collage cards that could spark ideas. And so, yeah, I mean, I've done this card making with other groups who've come to my studio. And so I will bring all the materials and we'll do the best we can. And we'll divide up the list of staff and at that time. And then you can take them home and write your notes. So once the cards are made, and then we'll have a date that they all come back and we'll coordinate getting them chocolates and then maybe whoever wants to distribute or help distribute.
Get your dietary needs, because there are a couple of people who can't
Yes.
eat chocolate and some can only have dark chocolate. And so,
Okay.
Unless you feel like it gives her something, I mean, I love the idea, if there's something you feel like the staff would appreciate more, or whatever.
I mean, what is it?
Gesture.
The thought that counts, yeah.
Would love that, so should I reserve then a room for us, since we don't have a room?
we can take care of it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right,
So
so
we could do the cards, we could meet the 18th and assemble, for instance. Or do you think?
right, I think that is the idea.
Oh, okay, I
That
thought
we
you were saying.
make the cards on the 18th.
Got
Yeah, and then, but the handwritten note, you can do it then, or you could take them with you if you. I think the focus then will just be with the cards made, and then and split up the list, and then we'll take them home, write the notes, bring them back, get everything together, distribute. All right,
Thank you for your help.
I thought it would be fun.
Ideal.
All right, is there anything else that we need to talk about today? In that case, would someone like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Move to adjourn this November 20th, 2025 regular.
Thank you, Miles. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Elizabeth. All in favor?
Hi.
Thank you, Vicky.
Vicki, will you be here on the 18th?
I will be here on the 18th, yes.